All right. We are live.
Are we? I don't see anything.
Yeah.
On.
Are you looking on Facebook?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
All right, guys. This is the start of our live video, our first ever Cooking with Josh and Roseanne live in our own kitchen. We'll be making a couple of simple dishes today. We'll tell you about it here in a little bit. We'll wait for some people to jump on, see who jumps on. Feel free to make any comments, guys, if you guys are watching or whatever. We'll try to keep this a two-way dialogue sort of thing.
It's pretty delayed, just FYI.
Okay. Yeah. So how are you doing, Roseanne?
I'm great. How are you? I miss you.
I'm doing well. I miss you too. It's kind of weird to be away from the gym for this long.
Yeah, it almost seems forever ago, and I think did we just finish 4 weeks?
Yeah, I think so.
Or
I've kind of lost track. I typically don't know what day of the week it is. So
I typically do. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is almost 4 weeks. I typically know the day of the week because Craig works full time from the house, and he's very scheduled 9 to 6, and so it's I kind of know. And he even woke up and said, "Hey, it's Friday."
Oh, funny how all these things work out, right?
Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah. All right. Well, should we start telling people what we're up to then?
Sure, why not?
Okay. So we've decided to put together our little cooking show. We're going to use ground bison. We're going to use cabbage. We've chosen to do some potatoes and kind of your choice of fat, however you want to incorporate that into your mix. Season any way you'd like. And we're just going to give our viewpoints on how we typically cook. We're looking to maybe start this kind of live interaction with people. Since we have a lot of downtime, we thought that we could create some different experiences with cooking. So we have some time now so we can experiment and kind of simplify things, show our way as nutrition coaches on how we cook, our philosophy with different types of ingredients and how we want to incorporate that for our daily lives. So typically, how would you, well, let me say what ingredients we've got. So we've got bison, cabbage, potatoes, right? Choice of fat. I think I've already said that.
Yes.
And then any kind of seasoning. So what are your ideas on how to mix this all together, Roseanne?
So I decided, I actually made sure I had cabbage. Pretty much, I already had bison and I already had potatoes. So I made sure I had cabbage at my grocery store run. And then I thought about what do I want to do with this? And I thought, oh, how about a shepherd's pie of some sort? I've never made one. But so I kind of looked up some recipes, and apparently there's really not cabbage in a normal American shepherd's pie. So I looked at shepherd's pie with cabbage. And apparently there's a thing called Coal Canyon shepherd's pie, which is an Irish shepherd's pie, which means white-headed cabbage, which is in your shepherd's pie. So I'm going to do a loose version of this because, like I said, I just made sure I had the ingredients we had agreed upon, but not necessarily everything that maybe a recipe might call for. So I'm going to substitute with if needed or as necessary, and we'll see what happens. But it looks really simple, and it could be, it's dinner for my family tonight.
It probably will be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you done any kind of preparation already beforehand, so we can give kind of people a backstory on what we've done already?
Yeah. So for me, I've already ground up my or cooked up my bison, and I've boiled my potatoes because I'm going to make some mashed potatoes. And then I've kind of divvied out a bunch of the other things that should be going in here, and kind of mix it all together as we talk. And then it bakes for about 30 minutes. So
okay, cool.
Result, but hey, I'll post a picture or whatever and let you guys know.
Right.
turned out. I'm pretty confident. I mean, they're really basic ingredients. There's nothing crazy in here. And I don't have to do weird stuff to it. It's just pretty much a bake. Make mashed potatoes and then bake this sucker.
I have a similar idea. Mine's probably a little bit more simple than yours. I've actually started probably my potatoes in the oven for about an hour now. So I'm hoping that they'll be nice and soft by the time I want to incorporate them. I've chopped up, so just to show you guys, I've chopped up my cabbage, right? I've already cooked my ground beef. I've seasoned it with some salt, some garlic powder, some things like that. So it has a little bit of flavor. What else? I have, for my fat, I'm not typically adding a lot more fat. The ground bison already has fat mixed in.
Yeah.
And I didn't really drain mine. Keeping that in mind, I will be cooking with avocado oil as well. So with the idea of those fats already being involved, I'm not going to add too many. Oh, we got Stacy. Hi, Stacy.
I didn't actually, I know we said choice of fat, but I was thinking the bison had fat as well. And then I'll be using just a little bit of olive oil to saute avocado oil to saute my vegetables. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm not adding additional fat.
Yeah. So with what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep it fairly simple. I'm basically just going to mix everything together. I'm kind of the cook that understands the flavor palette a little bit with a basic understanding. And I typically like to experiment and just put stuff together. So what I'm looking to do is I'll cook my cabbage in a cast iron skillet behind me with some avocado oil. I'll probably throw a little bit of salt in there. And then as the cabbage cooks down and softens up a little bit, I'm going to throw my ground beef in. And hopefully by then I can take out my potatoes. I'll cut those up a little bit. I'm going to add dill to my potatoes. And then I'm going to just cook it all together in the cast iron skillet. And that's pretty much the end of mine. So it's
like a beef bowl.
Yeah, like a beef bowl. So typically with ground bison, I'll just mix it in with all the ingredients because it's so loose. What I like to do though sometimes is just make patties out of it and just grill it because it's a lot quicker.
So
but I've already cooked it up and kind of broken it up in the cast iron. So
okay.
But yeah, that's where I'm at. Just keeping it super simple, things of that nature.
Yeah, and so we're gonna just kind of move along, and we'll post I'll post my recipe-ish after the fact. And then if you guys have any questions about what we're doing or just nutrition in general being quarantined, we're happy to answer those questions right now. Or if you have any great jokes, food jokes.
Oh,
jokes.
totally.
Or tell me how much you miss me.
Yeah.
So
trying to see who we have. So far we got Stacy. So what have you been doing to keep yourself busy, Roseanne?
Well, so for me, I know you guys had your little kinetic coffee yesterday about what motivates you and that kind of thing. I found that the first couple of weeks I got pretty sad and down because I missed my job and I missed my clients and I missed my gym community. And I finally figured out what I really needed was a schedule. And so I go to bed around the same time as I always did, and I get up the same time as I usually did. And I think a lot of that helps too because my husband is working from home and he's on a pretty strict schedule. So we just kind of do as we have been doing.
Right.
I literally have things laid out, like when I do my breathing, my meditation, I do a early walk, and then I do a longer walk with my husband, my workout. Cool. And I finally decided to do some self-improvement in the sense of I hadn't been motivated to do anything. I hadn't been motivated to learn anything new. I wasn't motivated to read. I wasn't motivated to be creative at all. So this week I started reading a book.
What book are you reading?
I am reading, hold on. Oh yeah, The Man's Search for Meaning, and it's by Viktor Frankl, and it's about a gentleman who survived concentration camps and how he survived this. Like,
Oh, okay.
what was his thoughts? And it was, this book was actually recommended to me by Melissa, one of our former gym members, and because I was telling her I was, kind of struggling with this, and she was, you have to change your mindset a little bit, and
Right.
this would be a good quick read for me, and it's been really good. I'm enjoying it, so I'm looking forward to getting another book that somebody can recommend me to read, not necessarily on improvement, but just something that's a good read.
Right.
Because now I'm a little more motivated, and I put on my schedule, and I know I'm not always timely, but I put on that kinetic flow, those 3 days a week, and I really like kind of engaging people and seeing people and being able to talk because you're not necessarily working out really hard.
Right.
And it's really relaxing. So that's been good.
Good.
So yeah, and things have just gotten a lot better for me. I mean, I'm still working out. And
You started to normalize.
Well, that was one of the things that never was bad for me. Like, I never said I'm not motivated to work out. I don't know why. I didn't have the why like Jake did yesterday, that he didn't want to lose his strength. I didn't have that reason to do it. I think my big why might be, and all the time, is to stay healthy for my parents, and my family.
Right.
But I don't necessarily say I'm going to go work out for them. Like, I don't necessarily think about it. So
Right.
I don't know what it is. Honestly, it could just be me time where you're working out and you're not thinking about everything else and not thinking about other things.
Right. And you're also a person that needs that social aspect of life, right? Like, you're very people oriented. You like to get out. You're very extroverted sort of mentality.
Yeah, I haven't cried in a week, honestly.
That's a success.
Yeah, it really. I go drop off my groceries to my parents' house once a week, and I can walk away and just blow them a kiss and be okay with that.
Good. Yeah. And it just makes you wonder, like, how life's going to be once we get out of this, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I guess I've been hearing here and there when I pay attention is like, are we going to be able to go back to shaking hands and giving hugs and stuff like that? Or are people going to have a new fear? But I mean, it is what it is. We're only in this moment, so we got to make the best of our time now, right? So it's not so much we got to think about the future.
Right.
Just embrace the moment.
And it's kind of like what you said. We don't really know what the future holds because it hasn't happened yet. I mean, I've heard you say that a number of times. And,
yeah.
Our new normal may be nothing like our old normal.
Totally. Yeah. But so it's
I don't know.
Transition.
How are your things coming along over there?
Mine are good. I've got the cabbage on, so I'm letting that saute down. I'm going to check my potatoes here in a moment and see how far we've had that. I think I may have misjudged how long my potatoes are taking. I've had them in for about an hour, so.
Oh, seems like that should be long enough.
Yeah. What I will do with that is I'll take them out and I'm going to cut them up, season them a little bit, and then I'm going to throw them in here with the cabbage and kind of just mix everything together. So just waiting for my cabbage to cook down a little bit, and then I'll start adding stuff to it. But other than that, like, most of my cooking is pretty much done. Just maybe a little bit of seasoning, throw my ground beef in there, and then once I get my potatoes set and ready, I'll add those. So I feel like this is a very St. Patrick's Day kind of meal, right? A very Irish sort of thing.
Yeah.
Potatoes, cabbage, and a meat, right?
Oh,
So,
yeah, we did miss
and
St. Patrick's Day, didn't we?
yeah, I feel like everything started the day before St. Patrick was supposed to get kicked off, right?
Exactly. All right, well, my vegetables are done, so I'm going to put my meat on top.
Okay. And then what do you say you have to do after that? You're gonna put yours in the oven and bake it out a little bit. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
are you cooking in a cast iron skillet where you can add that in?
I am.
Very cool.
In a cast iron skillet.
Yeah.
I prefer it. I really do. It's so easy to cook in, and it gets hot and evenly hot. And
Totally. Hi, Gene. Gene made a couple of comments. Everything does look very yummy and easy. That was our goal. Jean said she's going to try all this with sweet potatoes. Definitely. It's a good recommendation. And then what she said, did you already talk about the spices you are using? I've talked a little bit. How about you talk about the seasonings you're using, Roseanne?
salt and pepper.
Very basic. That's good.
Like, literally, that's all I'm using is salt and pepper.
Right. Yeah.
I am using some cashew milk for my potatoes, and yeah, I'll be actually and I'll be doing that right now. Is mashing my potatoes up. They're already cooked, but mashing potatoes up and adding fresh cabbage to that, so I don't actually cook it down like you're doing.
Yeah. For my seasoning, I cooked my ground beef already, Gene. I have salt, so I'll just give you a quick look. I have salt, garlic powder in there, kind of mix it up together. And then really I'm just adding a little bit of salt as we go. And then the seasoning I'm going to put on my potatoes, I'm going to add a little bit of salt and some dill to that. So I'm going to chop them up as they come out of the oven. And then I'm just going to mix everything together with a little bit of avocado oil. So that's where we're at with that. I think I'm going to check my potatoes now and see where we're at with those. Hopefully they're soft enough. I checked them about 20 minutes ago. They seem pretty hard still. So. Oh yeah, they're softened up quite a bit. Okay.
Well, my butter's not melted anymore. I gotta throw that in the microwave.
Yeah. So I'm actually gonna take my skillet off the heat for a second. I'm also using a cast iron as well, kind of cooking this all together. One, I like to cook in the cast iron. I think it's a great tool to use for just mixing a lot of ingredients together or something. Stacy said her last workout was St. Patrick's Day at the gym. Oh man, that seems so long ago. And Jean's gonna make this weekend, so that's cool. I would like to see. Hey Jean, let's do this. If you're gonna make it this weekend, post a picture after you finish your product. I would love to see what you do with yours.
Yeah.
And Jean's quite the cook. She loves to bake and all kinds of things. So
yeah, Jean's savvy in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay, I have never done this before. This is very weird to me. Again, the cabbage is fresh.
Yeah.
And mashing it with potatoes.
Yeah. So as you guys can see, I have my potatoes right here, and I just did really easy baked potatoes, and I'm just gonna chop those up right here. I'm gonna season them right on my. Oh, these are hot too. I'm gonna season these right on my chopping board. So we'll come back. There we go. So nice little bite-sized chunks, sort of thing. Definitely very hot.
So my loose recipe does ask for parsley, but I don't have parsley. I don't really use parsley. So the only thing fresh I have is basil, and I don't think that's the right one for this. So I'm not going to use that.
Yeah. My goal too is also to use as less dishes as possible.
Oh,
Less cleanup. So I'm actually going to take this over now. Let's see if we can turn this back up. Thanks. Appreciate the skill work. Yep. All right.
all right. There's my mashed potatoes and cabbage.
Nice.
Sure. That's going on the top of my meat mixture right now, which is carrots and onions, and then the bite.
Right.
Oh man.
I forgot to open my my dill. I just bought it when I went to the store the other day. And my mask. Now that we have to wear masks going to the store.
That's right.
All right. So I'm gonna season my potatoes right now on here.
This does not look pretty. That
So-
doesn't look bad.
So just to give you an idea, this is kind of how my potatoes have come along. So they're baked. I chopped them up a little bit. I threw some salt, some dill, and now I'm gonna throw them into the skillet with my cabbage.
Okay, there's mine. It's ready to go in the oven now for
Okay.
about 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay. And I'm just kind of mixing this up as I toss them in.
Whoa.
And then I also have some of the ground bison fat in the skillet too, just to create a little bit more of that non-stick. And I've already incorporated that fat into how we're doing this. And then once we're done, I think what I'll do for everybody as well is I'm gonna post the calorie intake and the macronutrients and stuff like this. Thanks, Gene. Yeah, I like the two different approaches too, right? Like, especially when we're in two different kitchens, we can come up with our own ideas, and more ideas the better. Kind of giving you guys some easy things to do as we progress, especially when we come out of this and we're limited on time and things like that. And then also, like, if other people are watching this at some point in time and you guys want to cook this, show your pictures, show us what you were making as well.
Yeah, I'd actually like to know if people are being creative, trying more recipes, or they're just trying to stick to something easy and simple and not venture too far.
Totally.
But yeah, I'm not much of the. I don't know. I'll try occasionally, maybe once a week. Breakfast and lunches are, pretty standard. And then dinners are a little bit different because my kids are home, and so they don't like the same thing every night. We have to be a little more creative.
Yeah. So I just added my ground beef. So I have everything mixed together in my skillet. I'm gonna let all that just cook together a little bit. Let the seasoning kind of mix together in here. I have the stove on a very low temperature just to kind of season it or sizzle it a little bit, I guess.
All right. Well, mine's in the oven for the next 30 minutes.
Okay.
But I can't. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say is once it's done, we could definitely post a picture on it on the page and kind of show people your final product. And I'm gonna do the same. So I'll probably be able to show this live, but I'll take a picture of it and post it on the feed as well.
Yeah. Before we leave, I'll see if mine looks pretty good. I know it won't be done, but
Yeah.
I did put some melted butter on top. I Don't know. Looking at the picture, it looked like it made it look brown. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I didn't actually pick another true fat, because between the bison and the butter and the little bit of avocado oil I used, I think I've had my fair share of fat in there.
Totally.
Hey, and if you guys want to come up with a list of ingredients for Josh and I to come up with something, throw us out like 3 or 4 ingredients and say, good luck with this. And what is that show? What is that show?
Right.
I don't know what show that is. That they ingredients and you have to figure out what to make with it.
Isn't that Chopped? Is that the show Chopped where they go head to head?
Maybe. I
don't remember. It's been a while since I've watched. Actually, I watched the show Ugly Delicious last night on Netflix. I watched an episode of that. It's pretty interesting. I watched the taco episodes. that was a good episode to watch.
Oh, tacos are good. Those are a staple.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm actually going to bring over my skillet and kind of show everybody my final product. Grocery cart games do something like that. Oh, that's interesting. So this is what I got going on. It's kind of a mixture. I threw potatoes, cabbage. I have salt. I have some garlic powder in the bison. I have dill on my potatoes, kind of all mixed together. I'm kind of just letting it sit, kind of all the seasonings kind of come together, and then we'll give it a taste here in a moment.
That looks awesome.
So, I like to keep everything pretty basic. I don't like to venture out too much in recipes and stuff like that. I like the creativity of it. That's what's fun for me with cooking.
So pretty much the same, because we both did them in cast iron skillet, and I just mashed my potatoes and you just mix and put them on top and you just mix them in there.
Yeah, but we also use different seasonings too, right? So
yeah, I didn't use many seasonings.
I don't think you need a lot of seasoning. I like the simplicity of whole foods, right? So
yeah. And I think, it's nice that if you can make something simple and eat it over a few days too, that's always nice to do.
Totally. Yeah, with this, I think with this cast iron quantity that I have in here, I think that's probably about 4 meals right there. So I'll probably split it up over 4 different days, whether it be a lunch or a dinner or whatever I choose to eat with it. So.
Yeah, I think that'll probably feed my family, and then maybe another 1 or 2 for me, honestly.
Yeah. So guys, here's just to kind of leave you off with this. If you guys want us to cook something next week or the week after or whatever, give us or throw out some meat. We'll need like a protein, a carb, or a starch. So whether it be vegetables, some kind of potato or rice if you guys want. And then any kind of fat. So anything that you guys decide you want to put together, it could be a breakfast meal. We could do a lunch meal, a dinner meal, kind of any kind of thing. If you want us to do sandwiches, I don't know, anything that you guys can come up with, kind of throw them out there and we'll pick and choose and make them as we go along. So we're looking forward to doing this more than just this once. So give us some ideas, see what you want us to cook and see what we come up with.
Yeah, we can do that. And then maybe other times we could do just a Q&A on quarantine nutrition or not.
Totally.
If you're struggling and maybe you don't want to do the same things all the time, but you're not sure how to venture and become a little more adventurous, I should say. Maybe we can help you with that, or just getting on a program. If you're like, I'm so off because my schedule's off, my sleeping's off, I'm craving sugar or I'm drinking alcohol every night. How do I, get back to a good baseline? We'd be happy to help you guys do that too. And I know a number of you are probably doing the resilience challenge. I know I am. I'm still on that, which actually was a big help for me once, I was in that funk. If you're not already on it, Brian sent everybody that information. You can start whenever you want. Or again, we'd be happy to help you guys get back to a good starting point.
Totally. Good information. All right, guys. Well, when we're done, we'll post our pictures. We wanted to keep this about 30 minutes, so we're about to hit that mark. It was cool to socialize with everybody that jumped on. you guys are watching this as a recording, don't forget to throw out some ingredients that you guys want us to play around with. And we'll take pictures of our final product. I'll take a picture of mine and throw it up onto the Facebook feed. Yeah. So thanks, guys, for joining us. We had a really great time with this. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks all for coming on board.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Have a great Friday weekend.